welcome back everyone. Here we are through 9 days of building this bad boy. It is definitely coming together. Hopefully gonna finish up tonight. We'll see how things go, but I plan to make a good run at it anyway. Get all our masts and sails here. I really am pleased how they turned out. I guess just enough stiffness in the material here to make them bow out like that. So they really are. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they look once I get them installed on the ship. But for the moment, I'll set this aside and say, if you're new here, this is what I do. I buy these kits and build them step by step, mostly in real time. You get to see all my successes and all my failures and how I hopefully fix those inevitable failures as they come up. Upload daily and just trying to have a good time. We're not solving the world's problems, just building silly little models and having a bit of fun. If you see any kits or builds or sets you want me to take a shot at, feel free to drop in the comments. I'm always looking to add on to my list. And I've got the most intelligent audience in YouTube because y'all provide me with nothing but the best of options. So, starting off on page 31, which is a whole plethora of steps. Well, actually, I guess it's just 2 steps, but for this model, it's a bunch of steps. I did do a little bit extra gold on a couple of layers. I'm hoping I did it right where it's alternating, but we'll find out together. So this, there, little notch. You go through. Which one are they going through? This one. Through there. Down into here. Middle one. Okay, I still got a little tab on the bottom here, so that's what you want. Now, this guy goes here. Here. And here. And our flag goes forward again, it says. Should. I think going all the way down to flush. Yeah, there it goes. Came in there is a little hole there at the bottom, so you can see it did come in flush. There we go on that. So now, add a couple of more touches onto that one. Okay, our little side bits there are these. These didn't get holes, they just got the little slots for our screws to lock into. But looks like these guys going on like so. So all the way up, it will sort of reach in there. So hopefully, let's see here. I think I'll try just the manual screwdriver on this one. Just going into a slot. Let's get those lined up, and then oh, it came out. Okay. And it missed the slot. I guess I came. This is gonna have to. That's gonna be a little tricky. It looks like. Hold it up. Okay, so pressure on the bottom. Maybe a little tilt of the screw upward. Get it to. Okay, there's that. Just like I've been saying on this whole build, I can't find that sweet spot on magnetic screwdrivers. Are they too magnetic or not magnetic enough? Okay, so let's see if I can do it with the mechanical, the electric then. Tilt up and there it went. A little too much, I think. straightened out there. Now, do that again, hopefully. It's taking a pretty good angle on that to drive up into the slot there. Okay. Alright, there. Got it going. Like I don't know if you can see it, they're just barely grabbing on that one. But I think it'll be enough to hold it. Now, let's go in. Alright, we got that guy set up. Now, to move our last actual sail, we got some more. Not sure what the other parts are called. But got some of those more of those little triangles to come eventually. But, let's see here. So these up through our decorative side, notch upward as usual, and you in there, and it's up on the front of the ship. So I am definitely going to have to on the accents on it. Didn't think about that till right now. Okay, looks like the side's not quite all the way in. Right. Now, like we've been doing, so dealio through there and then into the slot on the bottom. Bring you around to our little notch right here. And I just knocked that. That one did come out. Okay. Can I put a more of that? Yeah, it's walking off on me here. Okay. Still just barely getting in that one. But, let's see. Now maybe then I'll quit handling it. It'll be a little more. Hopefully it'll be stable enough. Okay, set you over there with the rest of them and bring in the ship body handy. Drop you guys in place. And the fact that little bit took 10 minutes does not bode well for finishing tonight, but I'm still going to think positive. Maybe the rest of it will start going quicker. Alright, all organized a little bit. Okay, so start off. These guys go in here. edges, supposedly. Didn't hit this one because it didn't paint this one because the only place it's getting painted is this one little piece there on the very end. And I think it's going to be easier to paint it with with it in place. If I can get the last one in place, that is. Getting a little snug here. Okay, get the tweezers out. Send you home. There it went. Teeny tiny pieces always give me issues. Okay. Now just that edge bit's all that's going to be showing, and even then it's not going to be much, so I'm just going to tap over those quickly. Definitely easier to paint it like this than trying to hold that little bitty piece in my hands, or even the tweezers. Guys on top of those. I just had some inspiration when I saw that. So. Two out of three of them are going to have gold accents. And I'll see how much trouble it is to get that one back off to dry. Yeah, if I really like this. I don't think it's enough of a. Yeah, well, a couple of them went. Now you're. There it goes. And let's see here. Okay, so this guy. Straight through. Yep. And these little guys. Oh, just peeled that one down. Alright, now later. We're ready to install these guys. We're just going. Okay, I'll let this one be in the middle. Maybe it'll be a little less visible. But just 6 more little screws to hold them down. Let's see how magnetic this one's feeling this time. Alright, that one went in without much drama. Let's see, can I see? Okay. Alright. Well, that was relief. Let's see here now. Okay, sideways. Or, I guess, the other way compared to the first one. I just moved it. Okay, it bit, so that's good. Okay. Considering the lack of luck I've had with these screws through most of this build, I'm very pleased with how those two worked out. And last one. I did it the other way. Okay. So, not a lot of wiggle room on this one. Nope. Alright. Should be ready to go now. Alright. That's 3 for 3. Now, that's that one. Oh yeah, this little structure goes back here. Over top that little hole? I guess so. Like that little hole would be for something. Okay. Okay, got a couple of some railings to install here. So okay, what we got? Where are you going? Okay, so this guy goes right here on in the side. There. And this guy, 2-pronged. Okay, they are right there above that little bit of filigree there. So I got our little detail there. You go on. Yeah. Little guy at the front. Which way did it face? Okay, I didn't think it was symmetrical, but it appears to be, so it shouldn't matter. Okay. I'll do the little one first because that was a little more, tad more drama. Clearance there. So a little bit to the back. Okay. Now it's time to add the sails. So I guess we'll start with our little guy. Goes way up front here. Looks like that's it. And it's should sit down into there's a little notch here. Somebody's having a fit. She barks one more time, I'll go check on her. Okay, I better go check on her. Be right back. Okay, I believe she just wanted to go outside, so she's done that. Seems to be happier now. And that screw fell out again, so plan B. Glue. I'm not even sure it'll stick with this plastic, but we'll try. It ought to. Rubber cement. On there. It slotted right in there, so that's nice. Make sure okay, appears to be fairly well holding in place with my glue there. Everything's slotted in place nice and tight there, so that's what you want. Back. Okay. Now, first big sail, which is the one without the flag on the top, and here's where our whatchamadoogie's netting goes. In theory, so let's see if I can drop that into the slot and get everything tied together. Wiggle and a jiggle way in. Doesn't seem to want to go. About breaking the deck there, but it's almost all the way down. Let's see where these reach now. Okay, they do reach into their slots. That's a good sign. This one is actually under tension, I think. But yeah, I wouldn't say it popped right into place, but it's without much issue. Yep, everything looks good. Okay, now on to this is where our big boy goes, and it feels like it's a little more sturdy as far as the deck plate goes. So hopefully, you know what I've got. Do I still have that? I thought of something. Maybe. I guess I thought I had that little stick of wax in here. Let's see about maybe throwing some on, but I have. It's walked away on me. Okay. It was a thought. So this one. Same place. Can't get it to line up and cooperate. Okay, 4 more cooperative on that one. It wanted to go home. It dropped right in. Now, These on the sides. So just like the other one, there's actual tension on those a little bit. It's not strung like a guitar or anything, but it's definitely got some, it's definitely held in place really well there. Alright, so last but not least, our little guy with our triangle dealio all the way up top here. And that's, how solid is this one feeling? Just before I even start, it feels pretty solid, so hopefully this will be sort of cooperative like that one was. Hard part on this one's finding a place to get a grip. Ease you in. Okay, not much trouble at all. Into there. All right, that wasn't bad at all. I think we got our. Yeah, now comes the problem of showing the rest of this from this angle. Actually, mostly going to be running the ropes. I think it's the main thing we're going to be doing here. So this might actually not be too bad as far as getting to see where everything goes. We'll find out together. But I'm sort of feeling it. Definitely glad to finally have those sails in place. Good looking ship. Okay. That's all for that page. And the next bit we got, let's see, maybe out of the way, maybe focus on something other than that. A couple of sails and a couple more of those little club things. Let's go ahead and pop them together. Maybe hopefully do it without breaking anything. And looks like, okay, so it's got our, okay, so this is what we're actually going to be tying our rigging onto. I don't see. Okay, so one goes way back here, and one right up here underneath. Let's see. Okay, so I want a slot. Okay, the slot's on both sides, so that's good. I thought it was only a one side thing. Okay. I don't know why they didn't have us do this before. I mean, before we put the sails in, because not much access back here to that. Unless we're maybe supposed to. Oh, okay, we're supposed to put the rope on first, and then this is it runs. Okay, that makes a little bit of sense. But the rope goes on. These anchor our riggings. So we tie the rope on, then we drop it in, and then we're running it around. Okay, so it goes from down. Okay, let me turn it sideways. So it goes from down in there up to this thing, over here. Slot back there on our, that top the rope goes in, works around and down here under this one. And then we go to our other anchor point in the front, then back up this one, across back to that one, and that's where we, looks like we tie it off at. Yeah, or maybe. I'm looking at this, it looks like we're starting our second run from the first same place. So I may, let me go be right back. Okay. Dope. When I did this one a few months back, before I just crinkled my propeller there, this is all one string. I think there's two strings, there's one on each side. But that's sort of what I think I'm going to try and do. I think I'm going to try and do it with one piece, because it looks like you're starting where the second one's starting where the first one ends. So I think, no, wait a second, no it's not, hang on. No, it's almost doing it. I may just add another. It's not quite. There's a little bit of difference, but I think it's close enough where I can make it. I'll just have to add an extra run from here to here to get to back to step one on the next page. So I think I'm going to try it with one run of string. Gonna be a rebel about it. Yeah, this is still, by the way, still one of my favorite builds I've ever done. I think that thing just turned out really nice. On a side note. Okay, but may end up being one of those things I end up regretting, but I think that's gonna be my method. So let's unwrap our string and see where things go. Because from the upside, it's not calling for tying 1,000 knots on each individual one, so that's a good thing in my book. Let's see, now where's the end of the thing? Should be. There you are. Okay. So I'm going to tie you down to this one and insert that, and then just see where things go. May work, may not, but we'll find out together. Into both sides there. Alright, so I got just a couple more simple knots. Make sure it gets anchored good and sturdy. I do have a knot diagram drawn over here, but I've never been able to follow those. My brain just doesn't allow me to see them like that. Okay, so give me a little bit of slack there. Let's see if I can get you lined up with down in here. Going. Place. Wiggle and jiggle, and there it goes. I thought. No. Okay, it came up instead of going down. Okay. Okay. Problem has arisen is that these things have come down, gone off our plate, so we'll try and get the pressure at the top of our studs rather than on the plate on this one. Noted. Okay, there. I think I got it now. Looks like it. Okay. Now we're going. Let's go over the top of this one and back around under. There's 2 notches on there to grab onto. 3 going into slot right there. Around this side. Good tight rope on there. That's good. Going down, going across the top, down to here. 4. Yeah, in the back of this one, there's another one of those notches. Yeah, you can sort of see it there. Floss it in maybe. The light is not the greatest on this. Edge there, okay, got you snug. Okay, now we start with one of these guys. Oh, I am going to have to cut it. I didn't think about having to put the rope, the sails on. Yeah. Okay, so that's... Forgot about that. Okay. You're going to go... Okay, so I need 900 millimeters. I'm also trying to decide where it wants me to take the... Okay, so it goes down. And evidently I've put this thing on backwards because the notch is supposed to be going the other way, so I'm going to go that way over, but that should be minor. So this I can do. I think I can still do that with this. Move through here. Point that point to this side to make sure I don't come out of my up the top of the next sail around. And this is the stretch that gets our first triangular sail. So I think I'll just run a loose bit and cut it, I think. So I'm going to go, cause it looks like I'm going to have plenty of rope hooked on my anchor here. So I'm coming down here, going back up and around. And you're going to end up up there, so I think I'll give myself a little extra. I'll cut it there. Okay. But first things first, this guy like this, so alternate. Nice stiff string, so it's not, so it is cooperating as far as being threaded. And so far it's not fraying or anything, so that's good. It looks like it's going to slide pretty easily on there. So just get it on first, then I'll put it in position. Okay. Alright. Now, see where our, it's going to go, so 6. There's a picture for 6 here. Okay, so 6 is going to go in between, obviously in the center. Back up a little bit. Go back of this one. I think I'm going to try. Okay, so I'm just going to try and get this the string underneath there and mount the ripper. Okay, I got the string running underneath our little, I don't think it's going to be right through the middle there, so it's all ready to be pulled tight into around the mast and into the slot. Okay. Thought. Okay, there it goes. Okay, everything. Just did a quick check back here. Everything's still staying nice and taut. This one, I wouldn't mind not. I'll get it up top there. A little more clearance for a sail, but I think it'll work either way. Is there a? No, there's not a slot on the front. Okay. This ain't good. Oh, hang on, I can go. There's a. Darn. Okay, just so can go through. So undo all that. And I think with that mistake, we just moved into another day of our build. I sort of understand better the into its little slot, and then you can run it straight through. I wasn't paying attention. There is a hole here to go through. That's what it keeps it. Yeah. Yep. And same thing. There's one on the next. Hole underneath there on the next line. I think. I can't remember. No, there's not. Underneath on the next one would be above, but not below. So that one was okay. Okay, but into place. In there. Tightened up. over the top of the sail. Underneath. All the way out. Just bring it in from the side. I think it'd be easier. And there is a link on here to go to. They've evidently got a assembly video for specifically for this. But let's see how things go with just following the pictures before I break down and do that. I can slowly but surely learn how I'm doing it wrong, I imagine. Once I get this one anchored in, we'll call it a night and finish up tomorrow. I got a little overconfident with getting it done tonight, but I think we should make, tomorrow should be there's still a few more. Wait a second, let me double check, make sure I'm still got a few more pieces left to put on. Yeah, and there's actually a third run of rope. So yeah, I thought it was just a 2 runs, but it's 3 runs. So yeah, we'll finish this one up and we'll call it a night. Finish up tomorrow. That's okay. Now I'll bring you back. Go back to where I was. All the way through there without Alright, pull it all the way in. Oops. Hey, let's sail on and get you back into the groove here. Alright, pull it out. Okay, I got it. Nice and tight. Okay. Now we're coming up to this one. Looks like 7. There should be another slot on that one. Yeah, there. You can sort of see that little L right there. It's where we're coming back up to. Find my string again. And everything. And it came out of the slot over there, so let's put you back in. Get a little tension on it. Put you in the slot. Hold it down. And then the slot. Okay. Over. Lock it in. Nice. Fair amount of tension on everything. Love it. Now, our next little triangle guy. there, and there you go. Underneath, and again, sort of threading our way through the middle of our anchor, or here, if I can get you to, yeah, through there. Off the sail. Here. Down. And over. And, or actually it says up and over. What? Oh no, up. Oh yes. Oh. Yeah, it says we're supposed to go. There's two holes there. What was it? Oh, we're starting up the next one from there. Okay, but well, like I said, I think I'm not going to cut it yet. I'll hang on to this loose string just for time being. But like I said, I think time has got a hold of us now, so it's definitely. I don't think there's anything. There's a hole here for these, but I haven't seen anything where we use the bottoms. And I honestly didn't look that close, but I don't think there's anything. It never gets tied down. Okay, you can't. It gives you the option. You can do them on your own. It looks like. All right, I may consider that at some point. We'll see how it goes, but that's where I'm going to call it tonight. We'll try again at finishing up tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everybody. Like, subscribe, comment, complain, share. Do whatever you want to with all of that. Be good to one another. Stay safe, and click on a link. There's my channel up there if you'd like to subscribe. There's my other channel where I do experiments a couple of times a month. Down here's what YouTube thinks you should be watching, but I may put that build for that other ship I did earlier. And this is the playlist for the build, this build. See you tomorrow.